Hello and warm welcome to our session Green Competence. My name is Michael Uhl and I would like to welcome you to our round of expert here during the BITZER Days 2021. Which competences we mean and what BITZER more than a compressor means for us, you will hear during the next 45 minutes. In order to leave no questions and wishes open, you are invited to actively participate in this session and by leaving your questions, comments or even suggestions in the chat or Q&A session. We are very much looking forward to your input and questions, and we will try to cover them, all of them, at the end or even later on. Yeah. But now let me introduce my rounds of experts. Today with me, to my left, Philippe Maretesh, Director, Services and After Sales.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome in our Green Competence session.
On the other side, I have Dr. Heinz Jürgensen, Director, Application Engineering and Product Performance.
Good morning, everybody.
As well, Michael Eichberger, Director, Digitalization.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Also, a warm welcome to my guests, who will support me covering, but for sure, not all the aspects of green competence and why BITZER is more than a compressor. Sustainability, digital transformation, and digitalizations are slogan and catchwords of our time, and everybody is talking about currently. Talking about these words and slogans, I would like to address my first question to Michael. Is digitalization something new for BITZER?
Thank you, Michael. Digitalization is for BITZER a very important point. And digitalization was for BITZER from the beginning an issue for the future. The history of BITZER shows very clear that the company and the technical department and all colleagues were always on the way to make the best for our business partners and for our customers. This shows also the way how we were designing the products. We were always willing and luckily very successful to make very new, very innovative products, also when we call it in the hardware side, compressors, heat exchangers and all the other things. At the beginning of the computer age, BITZER was one of the first companies who had a selection software. The selection software is a base for our customers to get additional knowledge. Mm-hmm. But in this time it was very difficult to load up a software. A selection software was very unknown. The computers were not in that way like it is today. So you needed a lot of time to load up with floppy disks the selection software. In 2001, we had first started to make this software online available. You can see this word online. Online means every time, everywhere available. Yeah. And this is one of the benefits where we were saying this was in reality one of the beginning steps in digitalization. To continue this, we were doing a very special software for spare parts, our ePart software. A very unique tool where still we can get information from our partners. It's still unique. A very professional, easy to use tool for spare parts, which is also used for additional functions, which I will tell later on in the next parts of the session. In general, when it comes to digitalization, we like to say that we want to support the customers in additional ways. On one hand, in their processes to make the work in between faster and easier. And of course, very important, the technical part, the way how to get data with the so-called IoT devices. IoT, big word, the so-called Internet of Things. There we have done a very big process, very big step. And in connection to all these things, very important documentation. We are trying and we are doing it in a very nice way for our business partners to optimize the document management and also the documentation.
Document management systems and selection software are really great keywords. Heinz, your team is providing these tools and even responsible for them, right?
Yes, Michael. That's okay. In our team, we develop guidelines for our customers, for example, on refrigerants. We develop operating instructions, technical informations, and we make them available for the users in different ways, in different channels. What we do is we get questions in, for example, question on product data, and we develop from those. For example, also the mentioned BITZER software was developed based on all these questions we got on products. Many years ago, we started with the first simpler version and we went on developing it. And today we are still reaching new levels with this BITZER software. It is now the source of product data for BITZER products for our customers and users. And it also shows that it's our target to answer questions, to give answers on site very early so the customer can directly access, or at least local via our subsidiaries in local language whenever possible.
In connection to this, I like to say this is one of the benefits, like I was saying before, online access. We created this so-called B-Spot app, where you have the possibility to get all the software every time, everywhere on your iPhone or smart devices. A very important information to get the documentation to each product. A big help also for future developments, a big help also for the people on site. And this is one of the parts why we have to say, this is one of the important things in future when we are talking about the digital time.
Yes, you're right. And these questions, they always come to BITZER. There's always some technical things to ask on our products. Most of these will be answered in the subsidiaries locally. And also from our central application engineering, we are in constant communication with our colleagues out there. And we train them on new products. We train them on new refrigerants or also old refrigerants, by the way, on refrigeration technology, things that are happening in the market, and also regulations and standards that impact the market. And let's say, whatever they cannot answer because it's closer to the R&D or the production ends up in our department. And we, from the application engineering, have to deliver through the subsidiaries answers to our customers, solutions for their systems. And they are not only asking on products, but even also on their own systems, which they design. We support them in that, even making heat pumps or many other applications like very low temperatures, very high temperatures. There's a lot of things where we get the questions and we deliver answers. And in the end, we take that, distill that, condense down the essence which we put into our technical documentation.
Really, thanks a lot, gentlemen, for that insights. But I assume now we need to go a step further. So it means I really wonder, is there also any chance to get an on-site support? Maybe, Philippe, you can give us some more information on that.
Yes, sure, Michael. Thank you for the question. Actually, BITZER and GreenPoint have been developing several service modules which are covering the complete life cycle of the product. That means that it includes, for example, the commissioning assistance as a service, on-site service, and the assessment service, as well as some extended service like retrofit consulting. This is a start. Then the commissioning assistance service, for example, is especially interesting for the technicians on site, obviously, when they are working for the first time, either with a new product or a new technology. In that case, it helps to save time, avoids spending hours searching the proper parameters and the correct settings. And at the end, this is also saving cost for our customers, because then they do not need to go 2 or 3 times on site until they find the proper and the perfect solution. On top of that, when a product is already in operation for months, years, we are offering the assessment service. From this standing point, the compressor and the operating parameters are analyzed and recorded, and we want to achieve the maximum efficiency of the product according to its design, because our products are always designed up to the maximum efficiency. Doing so, we can keep an eye on the product for the complete lifetime, and we try to make sure that the customer do not expect an unplanned downtime.
That's quite an interesting concept, Philippe. But GreenPoint is offering even more, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, Heinz. Actually, in addition to the BITZER on-site service, the GreenPoints also offer a wide range of extended services, including repair and exchange options. So to go more in details, also the master GreenPoints, which are responsible for the organization and the coordination of our extended network. Actually, we have one GreenPoint in each continent or each region. They are offering the opportunity to the technicians to go for hands-on trainings, going into the essence of the global training network. We will hear later on probably. Training courses are offering repair and overhaul of reciprocating compressors and screw compressors. And there we go pretty much into details, showing which parts have to be replaced, how to implement the GreenPoint quality kit, which means all the parts which have to be replaced since they are either wearing parts or safety parts. Then, of course, the compressor is always fully restored, is tested and evacuated. This is what is done during these training courses. But Michael, probably you can tell us a little bit more about trainings and seminars.
Yes, for sure. I'm really happy to give you an answer on that and tell you more about it. The Schaufler Academy is not only offering regular product trainings or service trainings, but we are also going beyond our products. Also, for example, safe handling of environmental friendly refrigerants are always in combination with the view on systems and plant efficiency. Furthermore, we offer, of course, trainings on electronics and also retrofit trainings, which are for sure quite important right now. Additionally, customized trainings also are possible by renting rooms or even the entire facility. In meanwhile, we offer most of our trainings even in an online format. But we also have the possibility in one of our big rooms to do really practical trainings and show hands-on. The trainings are held by not permanently hired trainers, as it's done by our colleagues from the application engineering department. Yep. They are really supporting our customers on a daily basis, and that is the reason why their knowledge is not only state-of-the-art, but it's also permanently increasing by their experience in their daily business. Just maybe at the end, one interesting information. One of our most popular trainings are CO2, followed by ammonia and the propane training. So I guess we can obviously see a trend here.
Yeah, now you were talking about the academy, Michael, but do not forget the already mentioned colleagues from the Global Training Network.
Yes, exactly. You're right, and thanks for the hint, Heinz. With our worldwide active global training network, we can offer trainings really on a global base according to the locally needed content. For example, in 2020, we have been able to reach more than 12,000 people only through our Schaufler Academy. Beside the trainings, we also perform special events for schools or universities, but also, of course, for experts and professionals. Through our conferences, I guess we could give them a view into the future. But talking about the future and sustainability, Heinz, what is BITZER doing in that regards?
Yeah, sustainability is again one of the big topics of today. And let's say my personal view is that sustainability also means that it has to be economically sustainable because of the long operation for our users, for our business partners. And if we consider this long lifetime of our products, this long operating lifetime, then we also have to consider already when we make them that there will be changes in this time. Because of that, we communicate with the users, with industry associations, and also with our customers and politicians, and try to find out how the future will look, how the main topics of this future will look. For our R&D, we have boiled that down to 3 targets. Environmental friendly refrigerants, whenever possible naturally appearing substances. They have to be usable with our products. Efficiency. The efficiency has to show in part load and full load and to be improved. And easy to use. They have to stay easy to use. We put on electronics, yes, but they are not allowed to complicate it. They have to make it easier to use. So the first 2 points of these, they target emissions. Again, one of the big topics.
Yeah.
Direct emissions from the refrigerant, indirect from the energy use via the electric power generation. And the third point is about the real-life long-term usability. Here, in total, we have a quite good BITZER history to tell. And the customers, they know that. They have experience. They can ask us anytime. They can also ask us to support them with their existing products they bought years ago. And we help them, for example, using new refrigerants in existing older systems. And they know it works.
I guess further to that, Michael, I'm quite sure you have something to say about electronics.
This is absolutely clear. This electronics, when I remember my times before when we started to have electronics, I was thinking, we have the best compressors. For what we need electronics? Yeah? I remember the stories with the IQ. This is now 10 years ago, more, 12 years. Nowadays, without these electronics, our IT devices would not be possible. And this is one of the important things. This is also where we have to say how BITZER is generally working. Always a very big view into the future. When we remember, 10 years ago, nobody was taking care. Nobody was thinking about it. 2021, we have it live. We have live compressors due to the electronics with our IT devices. The connected compressor to the World Wide Web. And this in high security. I will give you later some additional information. And in this connection, we see that the further developments which can be only done together. The compressor, the electronic, at the end of the day, this is what I'm always thinking about and hoping, the cloud-ready compressor for our customers with the best possibility to make the application quite safe, quite reliable, very efficient, and to get all our support in these things. Yep. That means, again, the 360-degree view to our machines.
Yeah, and that's really a challenge to integrate this, means to run these highly optimized products in the daily use, long term, with the efficiency they are intended to have. And with electronics, they have to warn if some conditions appear that are a risk to the availability, to what they are intended to use. And on the other hand, to make it easy to use, not complicated, so that it really is used. For that, for example, we have developed the best software tool. It's available as a PC software or as an app, and it can support you in commissioning, in service and maintenance, and it gives you tips and tricks on troubleshooting and failure finding and things like that. And if you want even more, you can connect online to the BITZER digital network and you can get even more support, also directly or personally. So that is, for me, in the end, sustainability. If we keep the reliability for a long time and the efficiency, that's sustainable for our customers.
Yeah, Heinz, talking about sustainability, maybe we can also develop a little bit more from a field point of view. We also achieve more sustainability through the holistic Greenpoint service concept. That was also a long view topic, as Michi was saying, for the digital. We started that 15 years ago, actually close to 16 years ago, with a view of the necessity of the service. And this holistic service concept we have organized in the well-known service cycle, which is following the life of the compressor. We currently have 54 Greenpoints locations operating worldwide, and we will open another few more in the next 6 months in different continents. In addition to that, thanks to the authorized service center network with 70 locations, as well as very important, as you already said, Heinz, all the BITZER subsidiaries are supporting our customers on a daily basis. They always did so, and this is probably one of our strengths, together with the reliability and the efficiency of the product. Having said so, we also offer our customers an opportunity to stay closer to their customers, meaning the operators. In that case, if they are not able to go on site, they can rely on our network. And this is also creating sustainability and consciousness to the environment by limiting the number of necessary travelings.
But I really want to jump in shortly here, Philippe. But how does that really reflect on supporting the operators?
Well, basically, we could go through the service cycle shortly. We can start with the startup service, which is at the beginning of the life of the compressor, obviously, or the component in general, where we offer either full commissioning or commissioning assistance, and also the recommissioning of the compressor if it has to be replaced or serviced. Then we offer the audit service, which is a bunch of on-site services, including the on-site assessment or the audit of the performance and the operation of the equipment. We are recording the operating parameters, and we also offer the oil analysis in this direction. Then we have logistic support. That means that we can basically decommission the component, bring it to our workshop for repair or preventive maintenance. Then we can ship it back on site, do the recommissioning that is normally called or traditionally called lift and shift service. And of course, we can repair our products. And on top of that, actually before that, we can offer the preventive maintenance, which is extremely important for some of our customers, especially when they have a very sensitive application. They want to make sure that the compressor will run for decades, if not more, Heinz. And these existing solutions are now fully combined with the digital opportunities of the BDN. There, we can start to talk about predictive maintenance. So maybe, Michi, you can tell us something about predictive maintenance?
Predictive maintenance. This is one of the issues, of course. What is the end of our goal in the digitalization in the IoT devices? But like you could hear now with all the colleagues, there you can see this networking, which is necessary in the digitalization. That we have different departments, different persons, different companies working on one common goal. And the important point, and this is also the future of working, everybody has the same rights to solve the problems and to get this common success. This is an important point. In digitalization, we can only talk about common success because nobody can do anything alone. And like I say, digitalization, like we are doing it in the meantime, this is a process. Digitalization is the fourth revolution in reality. It's industrial revolution. And we in BITZER are saying this as 3 pillars. The one and most important one are the people. It's important that the people have the possibility to participate and to be part of it, because everybody has a big possibility and also the wish to participate to a very common, very future-oriented thing. The second pillar, and this is where we like to say also the combination with our customers and business partners, is the process. We have to optimize our working together. Nowadays, everybody has quite more work to do like years ago. When I remember from my beginning, years ago, that we had time to design a unit for 2 weeks. Yeah? Now, as I remember 5 years later, it was 3 hours because you had all these devices, CAD drawings and so on. So that means people have to do everything faster like before. And it's also our wish to support the people that they can do their work faster. And this is our common network to give the customers the possibility to do this. And of course, very important is the product. Like I was mentioning before, the compressor itself, the cast iron, then the electronics. I was saying nobody could really think about it, what to do. The next step, the digital network, which is in the meantime also possible to purchase. A product designed via steps and always in mind to need to have the base to make these future developments. And in this BITZER digital network, we combine all these 3 points like I mentioned before. We have there the 360-degree view to the product. That means from the beginning of the lifetime of the compressor till it's maybe sorted out, you could everything see in this platform. You can use the other devices like I was mentioning before. You have a direct connection to the e-parts, direct connection to the selection software. And very important, we have there the absolutely data security. This is an important point, what we have to say. That there is no risk to be hacked, like we know from other branches. When we see now all these points, the technical view, the document view, the view for the additional information for the customers, we will have, and we do have, everything on one place. And for existing partners, it's also possible to purchase online the corresponding parts if there is really some failure coming up. The failure coming up, seeing you, like Philippe was asking, predictive maintenance, there will come a time that we will tell you, please be careful. If you do not take care, the compressor will be finished after 2 weeks. And this is the very important point what we can give for the future, a part of the digitalization, a part also to give the additional support to you in connection, where we are saying this is more than a compressor. We are giving you the whole package, also due to other products.
I guess, Michael, that's really impressive. If I have to keep it short, I guess communication between products, but also between humans are very important. But I guess if I come back to the 360 degree, which just reminds me on obviously a full circle. So that leads me to circular economy. So I really wonder, Philippe, maybe you can give us an insight here. What is BITZER's understanding or commitment to this circular economy?
Yes, Michael, this is a very good point. Actually, circular economy is also one of those words we're touching from the beginning, these big words that are in the limbo around. So maybe we get a little bit more rooted and explain a little bit more what is circular economy from the BITZER point of view. Circular economy, in a brief explanation, is basically opposed to the old linear economy. What is still today linear economy? Linear economy means we're taking resources from Mother Earth, to say like they say in some countries. We transform the raw material into something, into a product, into cast iron and compressor with copper and many things around in our case. And then when this product has been delivered and has been used and is old or is not working anymore, it's just basically disposed. In the best case, there is a kind of recycling of the raw material. In opposition to that, the circular economy strives to reuse as much as possible the components or the complete product and make something new out of it. Circular economy is basically led by two key visions or two key factors. One is the servitization. So what is servitization? Another definition shortly. Servitization is basically to move from selling a product to selling a solution or to selling a service to a customer. This is where we say this is the customer-centric approach, because the customer is in the center of everything, and we try to deliver what the customer is requesting for as easy as possible. Again, this topic, as easy as possible.
Yeah.
The second part of this servitization, also through the service cycle, which I explained before, is that we make sure that the product will last as long as possible in good shape, with good efficiency, good performance all over the life cycle.
Yeah.
This is extremely important. So we are extending the life of the product, which already has a positive impact. Yeah. The second part, what I was saying, is from the design point of view. We have to consider circular economy from the design point of view. That means that besides the fact, which is well known, that our products are excessively performant and reliable, we have to think from the beginning that the product has to be serviceable. Serviceability is one of the missions of our engineers. The compressors, the products we sell, must be repairable. This is also a topic Heinz knows from the regulation in EU. This is coming into the picture more and more every day. So the products, they have to be easy to repair and easy to maintain. This means also, and Michael was talking about spare parts. The spare parts at BITZER, it's our philosophy. They are available everywhere in the world, also with the help of the global logistic network, even long after the product has been phased out. Yeah. It's normally around 10 years. These two ways, besides other, help to conserve the resources and therefore giving a positive impact in terms of the environment.
Yeah.
So altogether, through repairability, we achieve sustainability, a lower total cost of ownership, which is important for the customers of our customers. At the end, they are paying the bill. And of course, for our partners, this is an opportunity to generate new services. Mm-hmm. Also in regards, for example, of the retrofit consulting. Heinz was telling us that there is a change in the refrigerant. There is now a trend which is completely different to 10 years ago. Yeah. Not even that long ago. And therefore, it is important for us to bring this kind of approach, that the compressor, the component, can still be used with the new gases.
Absolutely. So further to your words about the refrigerants, I guess we can all agree that thinking about refrigerants is one of the key points related to do retrofit actions, being future-proof, yep, being sustainable. So Heinz, I guess we all, plus our audience, are for sure really interested about what is the future of refrigerants, where we are heading to.
Yeah, that's a good question in this way, the future of refrigerants. It's not the future refrigerant. It is more a selection of it. Let me take a step back and say, when we look on technologies today, the vapor compression refrigeration circle, which we are usually talking about in refrigeration, is, to our know-how today, the most efficient way to generate this cooling effect down to minus 50 degrees Celsius and up to at least plus 20 degrees Celsius. So that means from frozen food storage to processes, machinery, food preservation, data centers, and up to high temperature heat pumps, this process is fitting very well. But it needs refrigerant to do that. And by the way, mostly it's electrically powered, and electric power you can easily generate from regenerative sources. So in principle, we have a bright future if we have the physically matching refrigerants left to work with. So they are really the working material which has impact on them. There are selections of those. Here it can be a bit complex because you need something matching to your application. We're supporting customers in that, but yeah, they can also take a look in our Ref Ruler app. For example, there's a lot of refrigerants. You can compare them, their pressures and application areas, and natural refrigerants, synthetic refrigerants. There's really a lot to see in this app.
Well, Heinz, this is a very important topic. I think we all understand the vast differentiation in between the refrigerants. But how can we help our customers to find a simple solution or a simple selection of the proper refrigerant? As we want to stay simple, as we say from the beginning.
Yes, a big point means we deliver a lot of information on refrigerants and we help them to select the matching for the matching application. And one thing which probably is the most important is that we make our products easy to use, and for different refrigerants. They have to be robust, they just have to work so that the user does not need to care so much about our product, but he can care about designing efficient and reliable systems. And typically you have to design the refrigeration system to the refrigerant you have selected. So we can say, okay, it's a good idea to talk about naturally appearing substances like propane or CO2. They are on the top of our R&D list, as I mentioned, and they are also the main focus of our communication to our customers. They are main focus of the trainings we are doing. And yeah, I would expect that within the next 10-15 years, at least in the EU, more than 60% of our business will run with naturally appearing substances, or let's say maybe some other substances which have very, very low environmental impact. This means for us, we need to educate people. This business, refrigeration, air conditioning, heat pumps, needs people and know-how on these substances, preferably, natural substances, to go on working. And here, Michael, you come into play with the Academy again.
Yes, for sure. I guess we all know we are seeing future challenges, especially for refrigerants. So I guess we can agree that it's needed both. So we need knowledge and experts to solve the current challenges in our really, I guess, complex world. Also, as you mentioned, Heinz, here the Schaufler Academy is playing a big role inside the BITZER Group. We are not only offering extra occupational training in how to handle modern refrigeration technology, but additionally, we are inviting and also visiting schools and other institutions to show young people that the importance of our sector and the relevance of our industry. We try to excite them about refrigeration and air conditioning and explain them the bright future, what we can see in our business area. And of course, they can make an impact as individuals, which is, I guess, quite important. We also try to awaken their interest for science and technology and point out the different applications in our industry, and especially the relevance to our society.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Michael. And I do like refrigeration. And we need a lot of young people who also show interest and show awakening interest into this industry and this application. But we also have a lot of experienced guys in the business. How do we bring them up to date?
I guess they're really playing an important role because we really need teachers and mentors to accompany these young talents. Here we try to offering additional and special education, for instance, for school teachers. In order to solve today's problems, or call it challenges, we need young, active and motivated experts who are willing to contribute and provide creative and also sustainable solutions. In the generation Z, or so-called digital natives, they want to have an impact and also a contribution on these kind of solutions. But I'm quite sure they also expect and working environment and infrastructure which is flexible. So there, I really wonder what is planned at BITZER's future, Michael?
We have started in 2015 with the clear way of digitalization. Yes, everybody was doing very nice, very important things. But they'd like to come to a combination, what you were saying. We need young people, but we need also experienced people. And I'd like to say that the success in the BITZER digitalization is the combination out of all. On one hand, the experienced people out from our company. That means from different departments, they are going this new way together with also young people who are doing the work to the tools. In general, I like to add again, we are talking about a completely new age.
Yeah.
We are talking about the fourth industrial revolution. A revolution in the business side, completely changing of processes, behavior in business, and changing the behavior between the people.
Yeah.
Imagine, I can tell a small story. Years ago, 2009, a friend from Australia wanted to change email address. I said, give me the email. He said, email? But it's using email. I have Facebook. Huh?
Yeah.
So I had 2009 the first Facebook account, never used by the way, but there you can see these changings.
Yeah.
This is what I like to say, the changing in the behavior of the people in between. Like mentioned before, more and more work have to be done by the same quantity of people, experts. And this is exactly what I like so much in digitalization, but in all our work together, also with you as business partners, that we can develop so many things together, that we can do so many additional things with all the other products what we do have also. And the goal, and this is where I'm absolutely sure, that we can take this to give to our partners the best optimized support. And this is part of digitalization in combination with all the other possibilities. When we are starting from an online ordering via web shop, EDI, technical information, a tool like Best Software, which helps the service people a lot in front of the compressor, with the next step of BDN, to give everything up to the service and after sales, which gets information with the data analysis. I have to say that we can also see that we are talking about the lifelong learning also in our business field, and this makes it very interesting. And luckily we are in a business field which is really needed also in future. So I'd like to stand very clear that BITZER is absolutely prepared for the future in that way.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect. So many thanks, Michael. Thank you, Philippe. Thank you, Heinz. Thank you very much for all your views and insights. So I hope, dear audience, we could give you also some insights of what we understand when we talk about green competence. So, and where we are heading all together as a company. In this session, I guess we could show you that BITZER is more than a compressor and what future opportunities really lying ahead of us. But now, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are now curious and looking forward to your questions so we can officially open the Q&A. So I guess we get the first question in. So you mentioned retrofit consulting. What does this service include and contain? I guess that's perfect fits to you, Philippe.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Well, basically, I will try to go into more details, but also not to stay too long on the topic, as we all four, and as well as our colleagues, stay available all around the BITZER days, and of course after that. Basically, the retrofit consulting is a side service, but actually not touching that much the equipment. So it's really consulting. What are we doing? We are doing a case-by-case analysis with the operator and the contractor who wants to switch from an existing refrigerant to a new refrigerant with lower GWP. This is the original question. How do I switch from my existing refrigerant, which eventually is not fit anymore with the F-gas, cannot be used, and how do I save my equipment? Where do I go? What is the strategy for me? And believe me or not, many customers need our consultation and our knowledge into that topic. So we are doing the complete recalculation of the plant, the cooling capacity. We check the material compatibilities for BITZER components and also for some other components around when we have the knowledge and the available tools. And we would then drive the customer and tell them what in our eyes is needed in terms of overhaul of some components or eventually replacement, because we have some components that cannot be reused. Hopefully minor components. This benefits in a future-proof solution, obviously. This is the goal again. And it has to be giving the security to the customer that he will be regulation compliant. This is really what is behind. So then the final line is, does it make sense to retrofit the plant, or does it make better sense to replace the equipment, for example, with a CO2 solution? Sometimes it makes sense, also from a finance point of view. So this is basically what is, in short, behind the retrofit consulting service.
Yeah, I guess here also, exchanging knowledge and communication is really the key.
Absolutely.
So thinking or going on to the next question, and I guess all of us were expecting that one. So which security provides the MyBITZER access? Michael, I guess that's yours.
Yeah, I was expecting this also. Because security topic is for everybody very important. We could hear that in the past there were many difficulties in different fields of industry. And now also from 2 weeks ago, 1 week, one factory, they couldn't do any transfers and so on. We are in the lucky position that with the MyBITZER, we have the entrance door to our infrastructure with very high security levels. That means we do have there additionally some firewalls where we are really selecting who is allowed to see what. Because via the MyBITZER you have the possibility to get a lot of additional BITZER services, tools for existing partners, additional possibilities to work with the selection software. And so, thanks to our IT, we were taking the most secure, how should I say, cloud version, which I will not mention here, but very famous one. It was never hacked, to secure our customers and especially our IoT devices, which are everywhere in the world in the factories.
I guess we can say you can forget about data security with us because we take care.
Yes.
Perfect. So there's another question popping up. So what is the benefit of a compressor exchange compared to a compressor repair? Philippe, you want to take another one?
Yeah, I will try. Well, basically, before I answer more in details in that question, there is a reason, or there are benefits on both solutions. It's also depending on the wish of the customer, and also it has eventually an impact on the cost of the repair or the exchange. Basically, what is an exchange compressor? An exchange compressor is a BITZER compressor which has been already repaired in one of our Greenpoint workshops, which is available off the shelf immediately. So basically in some of the Greenpoints, if we get the order in the morning, we ship in the afternoon because it's after sales. The customer don't want to wait for ages. Makes sense, somehow. This compressor is already repaired, tested. Eventually, we will apply some compatibility things like CR, like start and loader, like any accessory on the compressor that is exactly a drop-in of the one which has to be replaced. So the first benefit is the speed. We deliver fast, we deliver practically immediately. The second benefit is that it can be combined with more services or extra services, like the lift and shift, which I briefly explained before, and also the recommissioning of the compressor on site. Because one thing that is, I didn't mention so far, but one thing that we are chasing at GreenPoint is we want to avoid serial killers. We have cases where customers are killing compressors due to wrong application, but not only one, not only two, sometimes more. And the recommissioning service, together with the exchange compressor and the lift and shift, is a good way to help the customer find out what is the issue with the plant. This is also communication and working as a team.
Thank you very much, Philippe. I guess
Welcome.
for us it's important to keep the system running. Moving on to the next one, I guess that's an easy one, Michael. So since when the BDN is available?
Yeah, I can say it's available since March this year. We have done it faster like we wanted to do it in reality, but due to the situation nowadays, no big events, no big exhibitions where we wanted to show it. We were saying, okay, let's start it because this is maybe a little bit ungentle. We can give it out, we can sell it now because this is something which you cannot copy so easy. So we were saying, okay, let's start it. And we are very happy that we have worldwide getting more and more applications, that our colleagues, all the MDs in the subsidiaries, are taking so much care to this new approach. It's a new approach from our business side, but like we were discussing the last hour now, this 360-degree feeling well package for the customers.
If I may just add a word, Michael, to what you were just saying. We are offering a solution, you are offering a solution, we are together offering that cannot be copied. And this is extremely important. Not the fact that it cannot be copied, because of course there is all the intelligence behind. The fact that it cannot be copied is bringing an opportunity to our partners. The solution which is in place with BITZER products and the BDN is something that is not equally found in other markets or with other suppliers. So we are making a differentiation, and when we are different, we are bringing and securing opportunities for our partners.
And this is where I'd like to round up something. It cannot be copied because we're in the lucky position to have our application engineering,
Absolutely.
who is bringing this knowledge to the BDN, who is doing the data analysis, the algorithm. And so we can say, yes, this is, of course, in connection with our development, in connection with the IT, that we're in the lucky position. That also thanks to the board that it was possible to make a big investment to do this work.
Absolutely. So I guess we try to bring all our knowledge, not even into our development and products, but also into our IQ products. So I guess that is also a key point from our application engineering department and R&D, of course.
Yes, whatever can be answered there, we don't have to answer on mail or telephone.
Yeah. So there's another question, which I guess it's quite interesting for a lot of in our audience. In future, if there might be an emergency issue or even a problem on the system or the compressor, is there a chance to get it via email or a message? You all know we are used to smartphones.
I have to stand that also we have some other session with Mr. Bonelis, the solutions manager. I think he will tell it, yes, it's now also in that way for those who were purchasing the BDN, they get a message for dangerous faults. Not for everything, but for the dangerous one. And this is also one of the important things. Online monitoring is another story like analyzing. Yeah, you do not get every warning, makes no sense. But when you get something, then you should react.
Yeah.
So obviously we are not telling any details because stay tuned for the session with Eugen Bonelis.
Absolutely, but
He knows it better.
Again, what Michael was saying before, it's going in the direction of the predictive maintenance, a subject we touched a little bit, and is also coming more into the picture in the future.
Okay, so I guess the time is running. So, gentlemen, again, thank you very much for answering all the questions, being my company through all this discussion. So I guess it was interesting, at least for me, and I guess also for you and hopefully for your audience. So at the end, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the further sessions which are appearing during the next days. And for us, it's just to say thank you very much and goodbye.
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 Goodbye. Thank you very much.